David Pablo Cohn, there. We first met David right here last year when he performed his song, Learning the Lines, in the Bob Carter Memorial Songwriting Contest. And then we asked him to come back. Today he's joined by his friends performing contemporary maritime folk music. Please welcome David Pablo Cohn, Jay Hagar, and Emily Groff.
And he dreamed of the sea and the wide open sky and the roar of the waves in his ear. And he dreamed even then that she might even fly, even dreamed that she'd get him out of here. 30 feet from stem to stern, caked in Townsend moss, mahogany and cedar heart inside. The owners rode her off and left her on the blocks to rot. Been 30 years since her last trailer ride. These 30 years he's at the mill to hold the mortgage down. He'd swear he's standing in his father's shoes. But the kids are gone and $7 grand will put her in his palm. At 49 there's nothing left to lose. And so he dreams of the sea and the wide open skies and the roar of the waves in his ear. And he dreams even now that she might even fly, even dreams that she'll get him out of here. At 17 he saw her first coming around the point, bright work flashing on an April day. 50 yards of canvas straining in the morning gale, gleaming white hard over as she lay. He swore to Susie then and there he'd see the world in style, cruising up the coast to Kodiak. But by graduation she was late and there was hell to pay. Now 30 years down he's still looking back, and he dreams of the sea and the wide open sky and the roar of the waves in their ear. And he dreams even now that she might even fly, and dreams that she'll get him out there. Take us, Jay. Boatyard knew she'd never sail again. Couldn't find the heart to hold him back. Now 15 years of chisel work and open in her sides, spit and varnish, salvage line and tack. He's rubbed his fingers raw and burned her life of midnight oil and borrowed more than he can ever pay. But Monday he'll be at the ramp with Susie by his side. She'll be going in the bay, and they'll dream of the sea and the wide open sky and the roar of the waves in their ears. And they'll dream even now that she might even fly, even dreams that she'll get them out of here. Thank you, Jay Hagar, Emily Groff. So we're a bit of a departure for most of the sea songs that you're going to be hearing today. We're contemporary, which these are mostly songs, by and large, with one exception, songs that I've been writing in the last 5 or so years based on personal experience working at sea and stories from either shipmates or friends in town. And you know, if you pay attention, if you spend time listening to sea songs, you'll understand that there's pretty much one common theme in all maritime music, which is the sea. Act close. You might guess that it's complaining. you listen to maritime music, you realize, a sailor isn't happy unless he's not happy. The voyage is long, the weather's bad, the captain's mean, the food's bad, the ship sank again. You have to leave. You have to go to sea and you don't want to, or you want to go to sea and you can't. It's as Gilda Radner says, it's always something. So you can watch for that theme as Carol and Kent. By the way, thank you Spanaway Bay for keeping us all going while we're getting going, and of course thank you Maritime Folknet, Port Gamble, Chris for sound. We're going to play one that some of you may have heard. This is from just last year, a song I wrote for the Maritime Music Festival last year. And we're going to be B flat. Got it. B flat. The fly swatter key. B flat. Work with me. I should probably get to that key as well. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Harbor, the wind on our nose, her hand on the tiller, her eyes on her toes. Third day on the water, just 7 years old. My old lover's daughter has ended up in my boat. Learning the ropes, learning the lines, painter and halyard, all intertwined. 2 little hands, 2 little lines, both of us learning the lines. She called the girl Jenny, that fit her it seemed, 'cause that was the name of the schooner we'd dreamed. Before she went north for the season that year, stayed on with the rigger, found work at the pier. She was learning the ropes, learning the lines, finding her balance 1 step at a time. Hope to be honest, try to be kind, both of us learning the lines. I teach in the harbor, said I'm good with the kids. I need no excuses for things we both did. And he seemed like a good sort, though it's not mine to say. A card the next Christmas, a child on the way. Dropped me a line about 4 weeks ago. She moved back to town, said she thought I should know that I owed her no favors. She told me no tales, but she's got this daughter who don't know how to sail. Ropes, learning my lines, same old mistakes, time after time. Try to forget, try to be kind, both of us learning the lines, both of us learning. Hagar, everyone. Saw you in the sky this morning, just a wink that summer's on its way. Daylight break, frost on the awning, skylark sing, a new day dawning, telling me I'm leaving here today. Heard you in the air this morning, voice like honeysuckle on the vine. Shadows long and daylight chasing, singing sweetly, keep me racing down the road and wishing you were mine. Felt you in the stillness of the night, 1,000 miles from anywhere like home. Jubilant in desolation, opposite your constellation. You and me, girl, we were born to roam. Saw you in the sky at midnight, starlight glitter locked in winter's sway. I'm howling out your song again, I'll love you till the dawn and then morning come and I'll be on my way. Morning come and I'll be on my way. Emily Groff, everyone. So as I said, pretty much everything we're, actually, now if we can drag Mike up here, bring Mike up to a mic. As I said, pretty much everything we've been, most of what we're going to be singing is from stuff I've written in the past 5 or so years. But I'm going to hand it over. But another thing is, notice we haven't actually really gone to sea yet. You know, it's been a couple of we're offshore in the harbor, and then we kind of stepped onto land. So I'm going to hand it over to our deep water captain here to take us out of the harbor and bring us up with one that you may recognize. It's whale song. We can all sing along. Raise your hand if you've seen Finding Dory. Yes. Those are my peeps there. While Chris is getting Mike set up, I also want to put a shout out to a friend many of you know who can't be here today, Annie Scarborough. One of the people who, along with Jay and Mike and Val, welcomed me and my wife here our very first visit to Port Townsend. We stumbled into a shanty sing, and I led her one or two everything, and they dragged us out afterwards, and they grabbed us by the collar and said, "I don't care where you're from, sell your house, move here. We are your people." So 10, 11 years later, it's an honor to be sharing the stage with them.
I have to share a microphone.
Oh, you're not getting... How about if... let me share it with you. I'm going to switch on over your other side. If you come over here... Oh, no, your microphone. Okay.
Stay here.
Boom, 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 boom. It works. Yay. So, this next song is called Farewell to Nova Scotia, and many of you have probably heard this. Pablo asked me to say a few words about the history of this song, and as you might know, like a lot of the Maritime songs that we know and love, is old. It was adapted from a Scottish lament by a man named Robert Tannahill around 1910. So it's well over 100 years old now. But it's not a shanty. You'll find it in shanty books, but it's not really a work song. The cadence is too fast for most practical work. But it's become a real popular maritime song. And I first heard it, I think, in the 70s. Gordon Lightfoot recorded it and did a wonderful job on this. If you haven't heard it, give it a listen. Anyway, the song is known for a rousing chorus And if you know the chorus, please sing along. If you don't know the chorus, please sing along. or hoot and holler, whatever feels good. Mike's going to help us on the Boron drum on this. And last thing is, I'm going to throw this one out to my buddy Tom, who's here today. This is his favorite Maritime song. So this one's for you, Tommy.
Thanks, Jay.
The sun was setting in the west. The birds were singing on every tree. All nature seemed inclined for to rest, but still there was no rest for me. Farewell to Nova Scotia, you sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and drear I be. Oh, but I am far away on the briny ocean tossed. Will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? I grieve to leave my native land. I grieve to leave my comrades all, and my aged parents who I hold so dear, and the bonny, bonny lass that I do adore. 2, 3. Farewell to Nova Scotia, you sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and drear I be. Oh, but I'm far away on the briny ocean tossed. Will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? Yeah, the drums they do beat and the wars do alarm, but the captain's call we must obey. So farewell, fare thee well to Nova Scotia's charms. She's early in the morning and I'm far, far away. Farewell to Nova Scotia, you sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and drear I be. Oh, and I'm far away on the briny ocean tossed. Will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? I had 3 brothers, and they are at rest. Their arms are folded upon their chest. But a poor simple sailor just like me must be tossed and driven on the deep dark sea. Farewell to Nova Scotia, you sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and drear I be. Oh, when I am far away on the briny ocean tossed, will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? 2, 3. Farewell to Nova Scotia, you sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and drear I be. Oh, but I am far away on the briny ocean tossed. Will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? Will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
And thank you, Mike.
And thank you, Mike. Okay. So we're going to bring it back up more recently, drag it forward to, so a lot has changed in terms of sailing since back then to now. And so a lot has actually changed about the experience of a sailor. You know, the traditional complaints, you know, weather, food, whatever. Relatively fewer songs about scurvy or flogging, so the genre's narrowed a little bit. But one of the main things is that hasn't changed is the ocean is really big and boats are really slow, so you spend a lot of time out there. Now, the thing, though, about being out there, you know, your board's like, I really don't have, I missed land, it was whatever, is blue water sailors tend to be fairly laconic for survival reasons. You know, if you're out there for, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, on the boat with your shipmates, and you're, and every day you're going, I really should, it's, they're going to say, hey, Pablo, there's this thing I want to show you out on the back deck. Yeah? It's like, look over, you got to lean right over there. You see that? So, it's called getting float tested. So we find that mostly what happens is you sit out on the back deck and you just watch the water go by, and you watch the water go by, and you go, oh God, going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. And then you say, well, that's been fun. I'm going to go back to my bunk and catch a nap. You go back and you pick up your guitar and you put it all into a song. Lord, give me shelter in this cradle of the sea that rocks me on the waters of her deep. Lord, stay the captain's hand beside the weary bell, that I might have another hour of sleep. Oh, the lights above the hills of Valparaiso, on summer nights when music fills the air, and lingers with the jasmine and azara. And when I close my eyes, I see you walking with me there. So Lord, give me shelter in this cradle of the sea that rocks me on the waters of her deep. Lord, stay the captain's hand beside the weary bell, that I might have another hour of sleep. 3 days out, sailing north from Honolulu, a restless sea, the world all of its own, wondering if I ever really knew you. As we circle from afar, 5,000 miles from any home. So Lord, give me shelter in this cradle of the sea that rocks me on the waters of her deep. Lord, stay the captain's hand beside the weary bell, that I might have another hour of sleep. Take us, Jay. Above the hills of Valparaiso, those summer nights you let me hold your hand, and whispered of your life beyond the ocean, and kissed my cheek and whispered that you hoped I'd understand. So Lord, give me shelter in this cradle of the sea that rocks me on the waters of her deep. Lord, stay the captain's hand beside the weary bell, that I might have another hour of sleep, that I might have another hour of sleep. So one of the nice things about writing sea songs as opposed to, let's say, traditional fiction or nonfiction is you can put together a song like that, and when you get home from sea and you play it and your wife doesn't say, okay, who was she? You get to make stuff up. But this next song is, every bit of it is true. Not even the names have been changed to protect the innocent. It goes back to my introduction to the sea. I didn't grow up around the sea or maritime music. I grew up in Denver, Colorado, 500 miles from the nearest navigable waterway. Pop quiz? Omaha, Nebraska, on the Missouri River. I got my introduction to the sea just about 11 years ago, working for the United States Antarctic Program, which is based in
Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado, coincidentally. And they operated, more about that later, 2 icebreakers and research vessels that plied the Southern Ocean, carrying scientists and supplies and equipment to Antarctica, monitoring the ocean currents, the ice and everything. And I worked aboard the Nathaniel B. Palmer as basically the help desk. Bold Antarctic explorer. My job was fixing the printers, resetting passwords, and explaining to people that when we're ducking into the Bay of Whales, as far south as you can ever get a ship, ice free, it's where Amundsen sort of did his hop off for the South Pole thing. And people say, Pablo, I can't get to Facebook. I say, You want to hear a knock-knock joke? And they go, yeah. And you say, knock, knock.
Who's that?
Not the internet. We basically, I've been across the Drake probably 10 or 12 times, and in order to get from South America to Antarctica, you have to go through the Drake Passage, and the Drake Passage is sort of this funnel between Cape Horn. You've heard of Cape Horn. When you wallop around Cape Horn, you wish to God you've never been born at Cape Horn, and the South Shetland Islands, and actually it becomes a funnel for basically all of the snottiest weather in the southern hemisphere coming across, quartering us, and at this point, the captain basically says, we're not going to go where we're trying to. We're just going to put our nose into the storm, punch through, take it on the chin, and do the best we can. On days like that, you're thankful, very thankful for the ship. You're more thankful for your shipmates and your crew, and that's where this comes from.
I think we're good here.
That works. Oh, the sea, she isn't angry, it's just how she speaks her mind. So you keep a hand out for the rail, and you keep an eye behind. For the deck is rolling like the clouds, and it's hard to keep your feet. And you wonder what you're doing here, amid the spray and sleet. And you'd be mad to go aloft, but it's nothing she can't take. For it's warm below and quite a show, spending Christmas in the Drake. Oh, the Palmer, she's a solid girl, she'll ride whatever comes. And Captain knows his way down here, he ain't too fond of rum. Old Lauro and his boys will keep the back deck buttoned down, and the diesels and the pumps until we're back on solid ground. And we're listing 30 starboard, but it's nothing she can't take. For it's warm below and quite a show, spending Christmas in the Drake. Well, Tashiana's got our stockings stuffed to pass the time, and Carrie always has a tune, and Roger makes it rhyme. Young Andy in the galley does the best a lad can do, a-cooking on a tilt-a-whirl to make our Christmas stew. And we're heaving like a bucking bronc, but it's nothing she can't take. For it's warm below and quite a show, spending Christmas in the Drake. So we'll keep her to the southwest, and we'll take it on the chin. We've got blue water on the deck, but it ain't coming in. As we reminisce of loves at home and raise a cup of tea to the ship and to our brothers and our sisters here at sea. And the storm is blowing sideways, but it's nothing we can't take. For it's warm below and quite a show, spending Christmas in the Drake. Yes, it's warm below and quite a show, spending Christmas in the Drake. Thank you. So the note I made about has two ships. The Lawrence M. Gould was retired about a year and a half ago, and as of a couple of weeks ago, federal government having cut the NSF budget, U.S. Antarctic Program has announced that they have to retire the Nathaniel B. Palmer. She will be sailing one more time in October, and after that, will be steaming away. And for the first time in 75 years, the United States will not have a marine research program in the Southern Ocean. I'd say call your Congress folks, but it's a little late. So, happier note, we're going to switch hemispheres. One of the other ships that I've had the honor of sailing is the research vessel icebreaker Sikuliaq, operated by the University of Alaska. up in the Bering and around, or basically the Gulf of Alaska, doing marine and ice research. Wonderful ship, and she's getting older, though. You know, so are we all, right? You know, and and I'm actually going to point an exception out here. You know, I talked about mostly what you do as a sailor is you complain. There are occasional moments, these rare moments, when you kind of realize, yeah, where I am right now, that's good. I no longer recall the first day my reflection looked out on a face that was no longer young, nor the tally of friends crossing, nor the last bar, or gales that we weathered, or songs that we sung on the back deck as evening crept over the waters, the sky all afire, too weary to sleep with our bellies still full, and the summer behind us, Sikuliaq Southbound, alone on the deep. That old storm off to westing won't give us no trouble. We'll keep her behind us and ride out the swell, making 12 knots on heading southeast in blue waters. 3 days to Seward and 4 days from hell as I haul on my slicker and climb to the railing. The tremor of fingers, the ache in my knees, with the dog watch ahead and my best years behind me. Sikuliaq Southbound in following seas. All on we come from the ocean, all on we belong to the shore, all on sing back to the sirens, we'll always be thirsty for more. Rosie's got family outside of Fairbanks. Diego's 2 children live somewhere in Spain, and my patient Caroline waits in Cordova. We'll scatter in Seward till we meet again. If this hurting somebody can last one more season, next time we're called by the ocean to roam from this heart and this heart calling out on the deep for Sikuliaq Southbound to carry us home. All on we come from the ocean, all on we belong to the shore, all on sing back to the sirens, we'll always be thirsty for more. If this burden somebody can last one more season, next time we're called by the ocean to roam from the heart and this heart calling out on the deep for Sikuliaq Southbound to carry us home. Sikuliaq Southbound to carry us home. Thank you. I've lost track of time. 10 minutes. Brilliant. We have time for one more. And so, as I said, you know, most of the songs we've shared with you has been from my personal experience or friends around here. I mean, my personal experience is a 140-year-old whaler, but other than that, I'm going to share with you a story that was told, or song with a story that was told of me by a shipmate on Sikuliaq this last time I sailed her. Sikuliaq's home port is Seward, and to get there you tuck up into Resurrection Bay, which has a story behind itself. But Seward it's a fishing town. Boom, bust, salmon charters tourists. You know, when the money's there, the money isn't. Or the money's either there or the money isn't, and you know, you have to make do as best as you can. And this is a couple, Woody and Christy, who had their best go being running fishing charters, and eventually decided that they needed another job. long time since it was any good, babe. But we had quite a run. Money'd ride up with the salmon and tourists. Seems like our love had done. I know it's me who brought you here, fishing for dreams of gold. Must be the Carolinas calling home, trying to save you from this cold. So go on and walk out. I won't bar the door. You need to do what's right for you when I've been left for dead before. You can set me adrift in my old skiff and let the current have its way. Come the morning I will rise again on the shores of Resurrection Day. Janie says that she can spot us the gaskets if I can pay for the cam. Charlie lets her do the inventory, and he doesn't give a damn. I got a cousin down in North Bend who's got some friends coming through. If we can get her in the water by then, he says they'll book a day or two. But go on and walk out. This was never your fight. You got to do what's best for you. There ain't no wrong or right. You can bury me in the Bering Sea on my dying day. Come the morning I will rise again on the shores of Resurrection Day. You said you'd never fit in anywhere. Hoped you might call this home. You never promised that you'd learn to care. Never promised not to roam. Summer work made for steady pay. Hoped you might settle down. You watched the shoreline like a castaway, too restless for this town. So go on and walk out. You can even take the car. It's got the better half of a tank of gas. I think the keys are at the bar. Just drop me off on Highway 9 and I will surely find my way. On the morning I will rise again on the shores of Resurrection Day. Thank you so much, everyone. Jay Hagar, Emily Groff, I'm Pablo Cohn. Many thanks to Chris Glanister for keeping us going, and Spanaway Bay for keeping us going, and David, wherever he is, Kessler, for keeping us all in line.
I just want to say, he's not only a great songwriter and singer, he's a hell of a good friend, too. Pablo Cohn. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Thank you. All right.